Yeah. Dr. L.
MAGI, shit. Galactic Wacko, yeah.
Dr. L, yeah. What up? Galactic Wacko. Yeah.
I'm a synchronistic metaphysician. Put the planets back in position. We damage the wicked. The hand that is given us past with your vision. You lack the ambition of techniques we written. We mastered this mission on matter existence. So pay attention to the spastic rap flow. You are now tuned in to Galactic Wacko. This the frequency. You can channel the youth. We came to wake up the sheeple. Can they handle the truth? I am searching for the surface.
What's going on, everyone? This is Sethikus Boza with blackearthproductions, and I am here with my friend Anthony, who I've known for quite a while. First thing I want to get into with you, man, is how we met and how we decided to come on right now in this hour in 2017. When the last time we spoke was December 21st, 2012, man. When we did the Enter the MAGI segment and agreed that we were going to come back on. All these years later, we finally did it, man, and it's great to fucking see you. How's it going today?
Nice to see you. It's going good.
Good.
How we met, I think mainly it was after somewhere around that 369 video.
Right. I remember I contacted you a little while after that, and I don't even remember how we got to talking, man. But ever since then, we've been able to establish a pretty good, friendship, long distance, and even had a chance to, meet each other face to face when I was on the road.
That's right.
And
when you were driving the tractor trailer and you parked it at the mall.
Yeah. I was on an intense journey going through, a lot of initiations and stuff like that, trying to find where I was going to land, doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You have been a sincere friend through all this, man, through the process of awakening and, just all the crazy shit that's going on. So if you could share a little bit of your insights since your channel got taken the fuck down, man. Wackotica series got taken down. If you could get into Wackotica and share a little bit of what the heart of what Wackotica was all about and kind of just
Wackotica came about because after I got into that Marco Rodin shit about the 369, I was like, whoa. So then I started doing things like writing down the alphabet, and then I would write a number to each letter, and I would shrink them all down to one number. So it basically goes, 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9, and then at the end it goes 1 through 8. And then you take out the consonants, and then you take out the vowels, and then you start looking at the numbers, there. I started noticing the numbers looked weird. There was coincidences, that were occurring, and then just once you broke the alphabet into numbers, and then you started applying it to like names like the moon, the sun, Saturn, you start to see patterns, and then you start, what is it? Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are 3, 6, and 9. If you add their letters up to the number, it equals a 3, a 6, or a 9. And it just so happens, that becomes a triad. And if you look at religion, most of the religions have triads in them. Tyrannus, Teotates, and Isis was the Gaelic one. Got Thor, Tew, and Odin. Right. And then you look at the days of the week, and you got Tuesday, Woden's Day, Thor's Day, Freya's Day, which is Odin's wife. Then you got the sun, moon, and you got Saturn.
Right.
So,
the interesting thing with Saturn, though, is the inversion of the energy that's happening with these black cube cults.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that's been coming up even with the students I've been talking to lately, that they're asking about the cube and Saturn. And as far as I'm concerned, with my studies and research, everything in the universe is neutral, right? So Saturn, being the planetary sphere of consciousness that it is, this is the aspect that these motherfuckers are taking and throwing on the inverse, because Saturn represents the material realm, right? And with the cube and the star god Saturn, black sun that they worship, it totally is what you're talking about. It's like, okay, well, what's the real father? What's the real mother? What's the real child? You know what I'm saying? And everything that's been revealed to me in context, man. It just goes back to the fact that all is within us. So, and it can go either way. You're talking about how things are split off with the 396 within the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, right? And then took it from there over into my own studies, and so much fucking more was revealed, man.
Ain't that funny?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
because
like
it cannot be
a little key.
yeah, it cannot be refuted, man. And so coming back to that, the idea of Odin and Thor and stuff like that, because I really relate to those archetypes, you know, because of my blood code, you know, genetics. The thing about these gods and goddesses, though, is that they don't seek our worship. They don't seek our energy. These are archetypes within us to basically work with, like the planetary spheres themselves, the consciousness of that. So the inverted Saturn energy is definitely part of that triangulation that you're talking about, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, the like you were talking about the archetypes. Now, you know, everything in the universe is the mind, and it's almost like archetypes are almost a way. They could be a way for you to gain a certain perspective of yourself. You know, if you're looking at, if you have a perspective of somebody who's violent, you have a perspective of somebody who's loving. You know, you have a perspective of this, that, or the other thing. And maybe it's understanding all these different perspectives is where you really get awareness. And, you know, like you were talking about, they inverse the Saturn thing to use the reverse. You know, they'd rather stick it in the butt, you know, than do it the right way. I'm just saying in a perverse manner, because what they're doing
and the fucked up
perversion.
thing with Saturn, man, is that Saturn represents the feminine force, right? Feminine force is the most targeted in our reality field, man. You think about, you know, the things they do to, you know, mind control and brainwash women, but there's not enough men that know what the fuck is going on to know the fucking difference. It's both men and women that need to wake the fuck up still, man. And but you're a man that I consider someone that's awake, that knows what the fuck is going on, and we've had a lot of fucking powerful conversations over the years, man. And so talk a little bit more about the 396 and what you unfolded with Wackotica, man, and especially part 8. I remember part 8, Wackotica, where it just like everything, it was like a build-up, man. And then when that 8th video came, man, it just totally blew open.
And they banned that. They banned number 8. I was looking through my videos one day, like a year ago or something. I get to number 8, and I'm like, it's banned? Like, what the hell's going on here? So, and then they end up taking everything. But that's when you get under attack, because the 369, we live supposedly in the 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 5, and the 369 is curves and warps throughout the reality that we exist in a, I guess you could say, some form of conscious state or some other form of being. You know, we live in a body, but we have this mind, and then we have these thoughts, and then you have the relationship of the body with the thoughts. And I think the thoughts would be something more like the 369. But the 369 would also be the, you know, could be what makes up the reality as well, because the 3 and 6 could be, you know, on a molecular level. You can prove it scientifically. You know, the 3 and the 6 are oscillating just like molecules do, and they come together, you know, to form, and they bind together to form the material realm, you know, and then you have your mind. So you look at the 369, it curves and warps throughout the universe, throughout all reality, like a serpent. And the devil is 666 equals 18 equals 9. And then you know, well, there's the 369 and the devil now.
But what's the real occult meaning of that, man? Because people have these allegories. People look into these stories, and they're taking these things literally, right? Mm-hmm. When there's a deeper esoteric, you know, meaning to the mythos itself, which needs to be unpacked, say for the student of the occult getting into these things. The nature of the 369, the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, right? Which is infinity.
Right.
These infinite timelines and time loops that we've been caught in. A lot of what has been revealed to me with the 396, this is where the triangulation within our reality field is happening, right? Mm-hmm. and is where the lower and the upper astral shit is going on. All people talking about AI technology and etheric implants and holographic inserts and all this, mind control. And what I learned upon getting into Wackotica and taking it even deeper, the nine itself is the spindle of the energy force. And this is what they hijacked. This is what they took. This is what they've kept from us. So Nikola Tesla, being a scientific magician, he knew the nature of electromagnetics, which, and this is getting into Thor. This is getting into the higher mind, higher states of consciousness. At the same time, though, no matter what fucking information is out there talking about this kind of stuff, nothing has changed. Things are still the way the fuck they are, and nothing's getting fucking better. You know what I'm saying? And what I've found, taking time away, like you have, you said you stepped away, and you were actually applying these things in your own fucking life. I did the same thing, and this shit fucking works. You can literally manifest what you want to experience in this reality, but you gotta know what the fuck is going on. You gotta know the laws. But the nine itself, the 9 and the 0, they're lining up right within the vortex, correct?
The 9 sits over top of the vortex.
Right.
So when the energy comes through, flows through, if you're sitting in the seat of the 9, then you're controlling basically the balance.
Mm-hmm.
You go to 3, or you give it to the 6. That's why the Masons worship Lucifer. But Lucifer, I don't believe, is an actual being. I think it's the concept of the 369, because Lucifer sits smack dab in the middle, which goes to my other video, which they took down, 666 equals 9.
Right.
Because you got the CIF. The 9's right in the middle. The left is the 3, and to the right is the 6. It's the 396. So.
And that clip of Marco Rodin that you put in the 666 equals 9 is the part of your video that I put in the art of hyperdimensional warfare, man.
Yeah.
Because that right there, and I watched that fucking video, I don't know how many, it's probably over 500 times, man. Like really, looking at it from a mathematical perspective, but also taking it and seeing through that lens all of the other things that I was looking into and studying. And it really started to expand. And then learning, the secret of a 9 itself, understanding that it is the spindle. Okay, and you could take this back to Yggdrasil as well, the 9. But all of these systems, all of these things have been manipulated against us, man. And then, of course, with the 3 and the 6, they get you polarized, within yourself, polarized belief systems, polarized, way of fucking looking at shit. And then we wonder why the world is the way that the fuck it fucking is. And there's really no question to me now why. It's just still so many fucking people don't know these higher concepts, man. And you were the very fucking first person that I ever heard talking about this, man, which is why I want to have you come on and get into this a little bit fucking deeper, dude, because this is really, as far as I'm concerned, where things need to be understood as far as know thyself, getting into the arts of gnosis, knowing how your mind operates, how your system mechanics operate. Then, okay, how do you wield it? How do you actually work with it? Right?
Right.
Planetary spheres of consciousness like Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, all that. These are some of the most ancient guides that we have to actually, connect with. At the same time, everything being within us, this is how we access it, and of course the energy force itself. How do you see things going with this in context with everything that's coming in the future? Or if people don't catch it, what do you see unfolding, man? Just the continued fucking harvest and death and just all the fucking bullshit continuing? Because that's what I see happening, man.
What I see happening at this particular moment, which is interesting, is like you were talking about with experiencing it and living it. And then the most important thing to me is being observant And when you get to observe things, like let's say, for instance,
Becoming the observer of the reality.
on my way home, I keep seeing this sign for this guy who's running for politics because they got elections coming up. And the guy's name is Ira Thor. So I just keep seeing Thor, 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 Thor all over the freaking place. Mm-hmm. So now I'm thinking, you know, as we're sitting here talking, I'm like reflecting back, because reflection is probably one of the most powerful tools we got. Because we could go through a whole entire day, but the most important thing is to be reflective in your perspective. Because one of the rules is you really don't want to hurt anybody. You really don't want to hurt the feelings, you know. But there's a rule with correcting wrong behavior as well, and you know, and there should be a certain mannerism in which to exist. And when you exist on that certain mannerism, you'll start to see that the reality around you will help you. You know, it'll hurt you, but it'll help you as well. And that's really the balance of life. That's the thing. Like, everybody always wants to look for paradise and everything like that, when really, like you said, the control is the 9. It's in the center.
Right. It's
neutrality. Because when you get to neutrality, you could be without your you, but you're you in another way. You're you with complete understanding, and it's a very calming process to have in the mind. The brain cells are probably at the right wavelengths, you know. And it's important to experience things like that. But now, as far as future, I don't know. You know, I'll try to predict like some of the futures in sports and betting and stuff like that, because I've kind of noticed their numbers travel and their words travel over to sporting events and things like that.
Right.
So, and I could get a little bit of a bead into the future.
So basically what you're saying with everything, and I want to get into that with you more later, because I know you have a very, very unique way of seeing things. I'll say you have a very, very unique gift and are able to extract things that I've never heard anybody else really talk about. You know? But wouldn't you say, though, that this is how they are really manipulating the reality field, is with the knowledge of this specific science?
Yes, and they do that through by keeping people imbalanced, by creating a society that's polarized. So you have people squabbling back and forth. Basically, they're creating the 3 and the 6. They're using
hijacking the 9.
They're hijacking your mind. They're polarizing you.
Right.
They're polarizing you because you're not in the 9. If you're the 3 or the 6, you're not in the 9. And if you're not in the 9, you don't have balance, and you won't have the proper perspective to make the proper decision.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes in life, in natural existence, you're going to need to go certain ways and do certain directions. That's up to your free will choice to do. But when people get locked into things like sporting events or the politics, they become polarized. So then they become the chess pieces in the board.
Wouldn't you say that this is also happening with the conspiracy shit? The conspiracy community, everybody just going on and on and on about what the fuck the dark ones are doing, and the AI technology, and just, you know, all this other stuff that's happening. All of that is a reflection, because you're talking about reflection. What are people actually reflecting upon and then getting out and talking about, man? Because all I fucking see, for the most part, I can't say this about everybody, but for the most part, it just goes on and on and on and on. And even when they get to a certain level of knowledge, they still don't fucking understand that they are in that 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 infinite fucking feedback loop that goes fucking nowhere, man. And see, everything that I'm working to do with Black Earth Productions and the Blue Flame Healing Arts and Occult Science is, okay, where do we reach the point where we come back?
Hold on a minute. My phone, I can't, hold on one second. I can't shut this phone off. Everything is getting so loud over here.
No worries, man.
Yeah, this
Anyhow, like I was saying though, man, like a lot of what I see going on, it's just the same regurgitated fucking bullshit that you and I were fucking talking about and exposing back in like 2007, 2008, going into 2010. It hasn't
Right.
fucking changed. It's nothing fucking new. And people talking about this stuff like you haven't reached a real level of occult fucking knowledge about what's really going on, how things actually fucking work. And that's what I really want to focus on in this conversation, is how do we actually become the masters of ourselves with what these higher occult sciences, with the knowledge of the spindle, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
When does it
Right.
reach that fucking point when our kind that incarnated here do what we came here to do and really start to build and create something that is new, something that is fresh, something that is going to take things to the next fucking level, man? Because I don't see that happening yet. And
I think this is a good step. You know, can you hear anything in the background?
nah, man, you're crystal clear on my end. It's good.
Okay. All right, I'll stay here then.
Yeah, feel free to walk around, move around if you want to, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
Just, you know, what do you think about the things I'm mentioning in context, man?
You know, it does go to knowing thyself, mastering your feelings and emotions, and adapting, and really being a grown-up and being in contact with that inner thing within you and holding on to that which is within you, and just do the right thing. Try to do the right thing every day.
Right, like no matter what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, like, and just deal with what's going on, and try not to get too out of balance.
Right.
Try to remain balanced and centered, and having the proper perspective. And a lot of it, you know, a lot of ways I counter the attitude and stuff, because, man, I could walk into a room and sense the attitudes, and I can sense shit, and I'll be counteracting. And, you know, sometimes some of them will come out and they'll give you a little bite, they'll attack you or something like that. But you just be that, you know, that bright light.
Right. And it's all about being the cause point in the reality field. You're not affected or infected or,
yeah,
you know, suppressed or oppressed, and it's just all this fucking shit that people get into and talk about that can weigh them the fuck down. And I'm not saying not to look fucking into it, but you got to be objective, like you're talking about, because if you get emotionally triggered and sucked into something, man, then you get thrown into those feedback loops with the mathematics of what we're talking about. And this is mathematically proven, okay? But everything is energy, right? And you're able to pick up on energies. I can pick up on energies, you know, and it's most of what I feel out there is an extreme level of apathy and willful ignorance. You know, and what's the difference between the two? I don't know, and I don't fucking care. That's the attitude of most fucking people. This, you know, solipsist, you know, if it doesn't make me feel good, you know, type of spirituality, people want nothing to fucking do with it. And they don't want the sort of fucking truth to actually pierce their fucking hearts and make them, you know, face themselves, man. And no matter how much knowledge, quote unquote, knowledge or information somebody accumulates, it's like it's fucking a toxic buildup, keeping us from the real tools and things that we could grab a hold of. And the 396 is definitely one of those tools that has assisted me in my path work and everything, getting into the occult, getting into alchemy and magic and you know, all this kind of stuff, trying to bring it back to the original, to counter all the black magic that's fucking going on. I need you to know, again, along with everybody else, that Anthony, you have been a major part of changing my fucking life, man. And what we do fucking matters, dude. And your Wackotica series, unfortunately, it's not there anymore. But the evidence of your work, as far as I'm concerned, it's definitely it's manifesting, man. You know what I'm saying? When I came to, you know, meet you face to face, when you took me into your home and you were an amazing host and friend to me, man, that was when we really got to sit down and, you know, share some things with one another, you know, over the weekends. one of the things that I remember happening was we were sitting in your kitchen, and I remember you looking at me, and you could feel the energy and the presence of our connection, obviously, but also I think what was, beyond all this fucking bullshit, man. Share with everybody what you think that was and what was happening when you and I were talking, man.
I just made an observation. It's just there's a certain energy flowing out of you, and it just seemed like a very powerful type of energy.
Yeah, I felt it too, man. And again, this is consciousness. This is the higher force, at work with everything that's going on. And so now that your channel's been taken down, what do you think? What do you think you're gonna do, man? You gonna come back fucking harder this time, or you just gonna kind of write things out, and focus on your business? Because I know you got your business going, and it's great. You're doing graffiti, and
it's interesting, because I was getting to a certain point, and I was building everything up, and then everything just came and started taking everything away.
What do you mean?
The sheriff came and I woke up one day and the sheriff was at the door and I got thrown out on the street.
So what happened, man? What the fuck?
Well, the mortgage company, I was living at a friend's place and I was supposed to live there for a little while, but then he hooked up with some money grubbing broad, and she had like these pit bulls, and I had my kids visit on a weekend, so I had to leave basically. So it was like people who you thought were friends and whatever. But he got a right to meet who he wants and do what he wants. And I don't think he's an evil person, but the situation just dictated me having to move on. I ended up moving back to my mom's house, which I knew was in foreclosure. So I figured I'd stay there. I got there for a little while. I was there for like 2 years. And then, it went to like a sheriff's sale, and I was like, all right, well, I went through the whole experience about what it's like to be a tenant, because I was a tenant. I was paying a rent and I had a lease. So I was a tenant. And, which just goes to show how I'll show you. But so they said the house went for sale, and went to a sheriff's sale. And then after the sheriff's sale, you get notice on the door. This is not such and such. You got to pay them rent. So I went on to the Monmouth County clerk's thing, looked who the deed's name was in. It was still in my mom's name, who was my landlord, so she gets the rent. That's what the sheriffs told me. The Monmouth County clerk told me to do. That's what I did. And then, so they do flip-flap this, that, and the other thing. So just got 8 months later, just got down to a point where I was just like, I guess they can't do nothing. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. And then one day the sheriff just showed up. Like, I got a letter the week before, and then I talked to the people, and I didn't think that the sheriff was going to come, and then the sheriff came, and boom. And at the same time, I'm trying to build up a business and launch, my graffiti designs and everything like that. Which a lot of it has to do with logos, which is probably another reason why. But this is something that I love doing, and I'm very good at it.
Yeah, you
that
are.
got taken away. The house got taken away. I was painting the whole house black and gold, and that goes to the tribe of Dan and King Brees. But that's a whole nother other story. So where was I at again?
Yeah, share with everyone your perspective on sports and what you see happening, with things in context. Because you're pulling in like ancient mythos to, sporting events, and not just sporting events, I think, but also politics and all this other kind of stuff, right? Where they're taking these concepts, and what I see real quick is that these are codes that we have to work within us via our genetics, via our consciousness and stuff like that. But these are the archetypes that they're playing upon, even embodying that, even the names of individuals in sports, You know what I'm saying? The code, the energy of it. It seems like so subtle, but everything is having an effect on the electromagnetic spectrum. Just because you don't see something does not fucking mean that it doesn't exist, right? Or that it's not having an effect on things. So,
Like
of course,
air.
fortifying our fields and knowing the difference and, studying the laws and getting into the occult. But once you do, you can really see how these motherfuckers are manipulating the reality field, especially with things like sports and stuff like that. So share a little bit of what, you've been able to see and be able to pick up and, with
the thought and the mind. The thought and the mind are have energy, and they manipulate the mind through. They rig the sports, or they just have the sports there so that they could do certain things, so that they can harvest certain types of energy. If they need some negative energy or something, they'll suck it up.
Like if a certain team loses.
Yeah, like an upset or a bad play or a stupid call or something that was obviously one thing, and then they say it was another, and getting the fans to act, entire cities to act certain ways, because their team lost. People get beat up, and beer gets drank or something like that. They're all interconnected, and basically, I always notice
you can have straight up fucking riots happen. Sometimes even with football across
fake sports,
right?
So
right, and these arenas, man, these it's like the Roman Colosseum, man. What do you think they're fucking doing with all that energy? Where's all that energy going? Why are they investing so much fucking trillions of fucking dollars into these things to and then what I see happening with sports, man. And this is just what I think, my perspective on it. This is what's playing on the tribal codes that are within us, especially with men, because men need that tribe, they need that camaraderie, and it's like, this is my team, and and it's like, motherfucker, it's not your team. You're not the one on the field making the fucking plays, calling the fucking shots up in the fucking booth, doing nothing. You're just coming and paying a ticket to be entertained. What are you actually fucking doing in your life that is making a fucking difference? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like against sports, you know what I'm saying? But once you like market something I'll say on the level that they have, it fucking just completely becomes something else, like you're talking about, man. And I even remember listening to Bill Cooper back in the day talk about the Roman Colosseum, and the bread and circuses and stuff like that. So I'm not against sports. I played sports growing up, man. You know what I'm saying? But like the obsession and the freak out of shit. Like, why does that fucking happen, man? Why are people?
It's a religion. They're fanatics. The word phantom means temple, I think, in ancient Greek or Roman or something. FANUM. And the NFL is 501c3, like a church.
Right. I remember you sharing that with me. That is very interesting. It's
like a religion. And then you got the fans, the followers. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, everything is just linked. They have these fake events that occur. Like, they said 8 Brazilians just got run over in New York. 50 people just got shot in LA. 13 kids got shot in Newtown. And it's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got shot.
Yeah, I remember your videos on the
bullshit.
Boston.
These are like drills, and they're selling them as real things. Yeah. And then they solidify the lie through the sports. They'll have the event occur on Wednesday. On Thursday Night Football, you have a moment of silence. And everybody, give your prayers to the victims, to the first responders. Not the first, whatever that means, but to the victims. A moment of silence for the victims. So then you have all these people in this church. It's like going to church. And they're all giving all their energy in their prayer. Where is your energy going if the mind is power?
Exactly.
You're giving your fucking mind and energy. They're taking it from you. You're not taking it, you're giving it.
You're giving it. Exactly.
Giving it to them.
Not knowing the fucking difference, because everything.
And they're wrapping themselves right around, in the evil way. Wrapping themselves. This is what reality is. They're like cancer on the 369. I guess that's what you'd call them.
Right. Exactly. Everything I'm doing now, it all goes back to the first cosmic law. It's all about your state of mind because, like you just said, everything in the universe is a mental projection. As above, so below, as within, as without. And if we are not the master of our thought and emotion, then of course we're going to be distracted and pulled and, you know, manipulated and controlled, man. And it seems like not that big of a fucking deal. You know, but when you really get deep into it, it's like holy shit. Have any of my thoughts ever really been mine? Have any of my emotions really come from, you know, a place that's deep, you know, within me, that's an authentic expression, or am I just in the sensationalism and, you know, mimicking? You know, because this is what the parasite does. It mimics emotion. It mimics things. It's able to you know, fractal out on itself and multiply, and this is what's happening with the consciousness, right? Especially in these arenas and stuff like that. And I felt this going on when I was younger, but I didn't quite know what it was until, you know, I got older. You're not fucking wrong, man, about really anything that I think you ever presented on Galactic Wacko, let alone the conversations that you and I have had, man. It's really blows my mind. Yeah, it's whacked the fuck out. It's whacked out fucking shit.
Yeah, wackotica. And it's great being a wacko, because really, you could say the stupid shit. You could say the stuff that sounds stupid to other people,
right?
But they're not going to really get really mad at you because you're just a fucking wacko.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So if you come, so a
That's
wacko. So now listen, the word wacko means eccentric. Eccentric means of or near the center. You see what I'm saying? So you're better off being a fucking wacko.
Because he's not. Because you're not being compartmentalized.
Yeah.
You're not being fucking, you know, putting limitations on yourself or allowing limitations to be put on you. But also understanding that we're in an eternal state of evolution. You know what I'm saying? Because things like sports and religion, that's so fucking crazy, man. You say it's 501c3. You know, and you got Joel motherfucking Osteen. He's got that arena. Like, he's literally got a sports.
That's where he is. Yeah, I saw him one time in Philadelphia in an arena.
Right.
There's another church. So you don't know. They're doing black masses.
As far as
you know,
the
they're blessing the game.
goes, you know, across America. And I was directly involved with that, man. You know, for you know, a number of years, and saw these fucking sorcerers wield the manipulation of the energy force and sorcery and mind control and everything. There's so many fucking layers and facets. This Kraken has many legs, right? But what is going to happen to an individual that does waking up, that is waking up and then finds themselves in a place of going through that separation with those around them? You know what I'm saying? Because that's a very fucking serious, you know, deal. And a lot of the people that I talk to, they feel alone. They feel like nobody understands them. You know what I'm saying? And then comes the idea that you are crazy and that you are fucked up. When it's like, no, you know what the fuck is going on. There's the evidence of it, but then you're around other people that don't fucking get it or don't fucking care or say
that's
that.
That's when you got to try to laugh and try to use humor to try to, so you don't get too fucking depressed, upset, and have anxiety about it. You know, and when you laugh it off. You know, like shaking it off. If you get hit hard, you know, sometimes you got to shake it off. You know, for me, it's like laugh it off. You know, try to laugh it off the best you can. Get a different perspective or something.
What about individuals though that they're really dealing with? You know, say it's easier with other people that definitely don't fucking know you. Yeah, I can laugh in fucking people's faces all fucking day, especially when they come and talk shit.
Oh, but when family and friends do shit and then they leave you or something.
Yeah. That ain't fucking shit. But when it comes to family, when it comes to people that are the closest to you, and you're getting that from them, it's a major fucking blow, man. And also understanding that, you know, they're targeting the family units they have, and you got all this transgender fucking bullshit going on. You know, designed to, you know, basically rip apart the fucking goddamn fabric of fucking society, man. What does it take? What does it take for people to wake the fuck up, man? What is it gonna take? Another fucking cataclysm? Is it gonna take a nuclear fucking holocaust? Like all this fucking bullshit that they're fucking talking about in the media. What the fuck is it gonna take? Like seriously, man.
Probably a miracle. What's it gonna take is stuff like this, but hopefully this contains something different in it that, you know, because you do got to plant seeds. So hopefully this will help plant some seeds in some people's minds, and some things will grow, and then it'll bear fruit. And, you know, hopefully that fruit, the whole point is just to keep the tree of life within us, which is the seed knowledge. You pass that on, and that tree of life, that knowledge goes on to the next one, and they have it grow within them. And then they're able to bear fruit as well. And that's what I
see happening, I'll say, with our students. Because I'm doing one-on-one mentorship with people, getting them into the arts and gnosis, getting them into know thyself, and then also going through the correct initiation process to be able to even wield the energy force, knowing how their system mechanics operate, because everybody's unique. We all have these things to work with and play with. But until mankind realizes that the heavens above are within, everything in the universe is a mental projection, like you're talking about, man. It's not gonna fucking change. Like what are we gonna create? What are we gonna do together? And so doing this, agreeing to do this, and coming on, man, I think is a major fucking step forward, and more people need to do it. But also, what are you actually presenting? What are you actually talking about? Is it a benefit?
Be a part of
the same fucking bullshit that you and I were exposing back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, the path, just because you learn more and just because you gain more knowledge, just makes your path harder in a lot of ways. You know, there's highways to hell. That means there's pathways to the other way. You see what I'm talking about? You know, because when we're talking about something like oblivion and hell and that state of mind, and you're talking about the 3 and the 6, you know, there's a chance, you know, because you got in the mythos and stuff, there's things like the abyss and the hordes of demons, you know, and the bottomless pit, you know. So when you're delving through the mind manipulation and stuff, and it's like hacking through woods, you're making a path, you're trying to make a path for people, you know, and then you run into other people. Hey, where are you going? I'm going this way, you know, or what's back there? It may have been a path that was once traveled before, but over time it gets forgotten, and when it gets forgotten, the trees grow in the path, you know, so you're trying to make the path new again. Because this knowledge was all known at one point in time, but then it's been taken away. So now people like us, hopefully our intention and what we're doing here is trying to get people to come on, make paths in the woods, you know, and you can there's ways out in other ways. You know, you don't have to stay on the highway. Is there a way to do something in a mass sense? I don't think so. I don't think there's some viral video that's going to do shit.
Right.
I think you know, something that gets out there, as long as, you know, at least it gets spread a little bit, could do something. If you started, you know, interrupting their feeding habits, I don't know, man.
We gotta be like
I don't know. Their technologies are a lot more than what we know right now. And
okay, well, there's
we're using their devices.
technology, right? There's their technology, man. But then there's also the technology that we are. My kind have the ability to cloak themselves, man. Okay, energetically speaking. And I mentioned this even before in videos. Getting into my personal practice and, you know, how I fortify my field and shit like that. Now, am I 100%,
I don't know shit about that stuff. That sounds pretty interesting.
Am I 100% impenetrable? No. But there are ways that you can get into these things, you know, sort of magical practices to fortify yourself energetically, and also, you know, be able to, you know, protect your field, man, because everything's energy. It's electromagnetic spectrum, and the way I think one of the major ways we're gonna fucking actually win is when people, know how they operate, know how their mind is actually, you know, moving and having its being, and you know everything in context, becoming the observer like you're talking about, and not being pulled out, you know, not being drawn out, because when you're drawn out, you got to watch the fucking flanks, because it gets you focused on something, but then boom, you got these two other fucking things you didn't even see fucking coming.
Yeah.
And that's all the fucking shit. Right. And that's all the fucking shit that I see going on with the media, and even a lot of the other stuff that people are out there presenting. I'm not like against anyone presenting anything. And I've been really trying to build this network, and getting you on here is fucking awesome, dude, because you and I have been at this for a really fucking long time. You know, where does it go from here? I'm taking steps on, you know, with my path work, and it's been successful, and people are finding out these things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the separation is going to increase as far as I'm concerned. And not everybody that starts out with you is going to end up with you type of fucking thing. The question is whether or not people are going to continue on, and then of course, you know, come together like we do from time to time, encourage and empower one another, because there's too much fucking shit talking. There's too much fucking backbiting and fucking gossip, and you know, people wanting to put themselves up on a fucking pedestal so they could be the fucking star, and everybody's fucking listening to them, and they're the all-knowing fucking guru and all that fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know. I don't even pay attention to any of that shit.
I know you do, man. I know you fucking don't, and that's why I'm having you on, because I don't fucking either. I don't want to ever become a fucking icon or anything like that. At the same time, working with people one-on-one to fortify our fields, and remember, and really diving into these concepts, and not just knowing about them, but knowing how to fucking wield them, wielding the energy force itself, creating out of the fabric of the fucking universe that's waiting for us to command it. It's ready to meet us, and it's doing that anyway. Just nobody knows that their energy force has been hijacked with the manipulation of the mathematics of the 396. Because Nikola Tesla knew about that fucking shit. How do you think the Dark Ones know about it? Did they come up with it? I don't fucking think so. These fucking jackass motherfuckers have hijacked all sacred knowledge and then use it to dominate and control and enslave and whatever.
Yeah, they're like an etheric.
They're not creators.
Fucking obese parasite that is just, you know, is very smart and cunning and has its ways, doesn't have any real imagination or any really original thought of its own. It has to always get it through the ones they enslave type thing.
Right.
But it's just a nasty, disgusting thought process that runs there. That's why they call it the Fed. And when you go to the football game or whatever, you know, your energy goes up, you know, your money goes out of your pocket, and, you know, the energy, something's feeding off the energy and the prayers that you're giving up. That's how I look at it. You could say they're, you know, you could be feeding the energies to them. And then you have the Fed. The Fed are the ones who you fed, you know? So, you know, when you have that aspect and you look at all the money and the control, and there is a lot of possibility that, I don't know, maybe there does need to be a cataclysm or something.
Well, you know what? I think it's going to happen with individuals regardless of what the fuck they think is going on. Because right now in 2017, we've reached the end of the great year. Like I've talked about the Atlantean cycle that we've been in. As far as I'm concerned, the Dark Ones do not have jurisdiction here anymore. Just nobody fucking knows it. And nobody knows that they have the ability to create something fucking better than the bullshit that they've been fucking handed. it's hard work though. It's going to take a lot of fucking energy and
It's gonna take originality. That's another thing.
Originality, but yeah, even deeper, man. Authenticity.
Yeah.
Like what is even true spirituality? You
Like,
know, nowadays is it
well,
being
your perspective is really
being
important.
fucking pious and in a meditation pose, holding fucking sage and fucking crystals. I'm not against like using.
It could help people,
tools, man. But it's not authentic. It's like what the fuck is really going on? You know, I'm a Scorpio, man. So that's my psychological disposition. Other people have other ways of perceiving, right? But if they don't know how they're perceiving, I know how I fucking perceive shit. If other people don't, though, then they're not going to know why they do what they do or think the way they think or do things the way they do things, right? But like what is real spirituality even fucking mean? What is truth? What the fuck, what is reality? You know what I'm saying? There's that subjective reality, the experience that we're having subjectively, but then there's the objective reality field that no one can fucking alter because the laws of the universe are literally, holding it in place. And if you don't know how things work,
then you're basically just observing that this is pretty much just the way it is, and this is the way it's always going to be. Which would be the favorite if it was a horse race. Cataclysm would be like 9 to 5. Great Awakening would be like the long shot, 50 to 1, 60 to 1. So the odds on are that there's going to be a cataclysm. And it's probability. And
right. Also, the
Great Awakenings is a possibility, it's just a long shot.
Right, and coming into the place of seeing the possibilities and probabilities of what could manifest if people wake the fuck up and if people do catch it, and come into a place of real healing and empowerment, with themselves, because the most important relationship I feel that anyone could ever have is the one with themselves, right? And then of course that's gonna reflect, in the relationship and how you treat other people and stuff like that. That's just a side note, but the inner cataclysm is happening whether people fucking want it to or not. That's the point of what I think is happening right now, because there was like a 2-week build up to fucking Halloween. And I've been really feeling it lately. It's like, things have been successful and more people are coming and more people do want to wake up and more people are seeing the value, in the things that I'm sharing and even what they're going to be hearing once this is published. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take certain individuals. I've already made the decision to continue doing what I'm doing. And I sometimes, think, what's the fucking point? But more and more people are coming, man. And so we can never underestimate, the power of a seed. We can never underestimate the actual power of what we're doing, man. Because like I said, what you did with Wackotica and Galactic Wacko, the channel, man, has definitely fucking inspired me. You were one of the first people I ever fucking saw, that was like talking about stuff, man, when I started doing, a lot of this research. So you can never underestimate it, man. But I think that so many people get discouraged and stuff, like, because they see the fucking bullshit that's going on and it's not fucking getting better. It's not going to fucking change. And it's like, it's just going to be another fucking cataclysm. Yeah, it fucking will if we don't fucking catch it. And that's all I'm trying to do with as many people as I fucking can, No matter how big or small it fucking looks, this shit is fucking worldwide now, man.
Part of one of the things that I did trying to plant some seeds was, you had this thing where these people in New York supposedly were killed by a Home Depot rented truck from some ISIS terrorists, and you look and there's no blood anywhere. The guy supposedly ran over 8 people. There ain't a drop of blood anywhere. Where the bikes are, there's no blood anywhere.
I remember your videos on
where the fuck's all the blood? So
I remember your videos on Sandy Hook and the Boston bombing, man. Why don't you share a little bit about that? as a recap.
Yeah, well, let me just get back to this real quick, because so I go in to get my oil changed, and the shit's on the TV, the shit's in the newspaper, you know, and there's people in there, and I just to make a conversation. Where's the blood? Where's the blood? I get into this conversation with people, and believe it or not, some of the people were like, "Yeah, what the hell's going on? Like, where's no blood anywhere?" They're like, "Wouldn't there be blood everywhere?" And it was just the way that I looked at it, and talking to the people face to face. You see, being on the internet's one thing, but people have been on the internet trying to make movements for a long time. And I'm not sure if really that's the way to go.
Right.
But maybe it is. You know, maybe that has its part in it. You know, so then maybe that's why they're kicking channels like me. They just wiped me out one day. I had no strikes for all those years. And in 7-8 years or something, 3 million views, 5,600 subscribers. But, you know, they come and go. So who knows? You know, tons of people were subscribed at some point, you know, and they just wipe it all out. One day they show up. Suddenly you get a strike. Like, I got a strike in July. I got a strike in August. I got kicked out of the house in August. I get another strike in September. And they send a message to my spam that they terminated my account. If you want to fight it, send a letter over here. So I sent a letter, and I said, I don't know. I said, I think you guys are the police. Like, what video don't you like? I'll take it down. Like, what's the problem? It's like, nope. Then they responded back, we don't want people like you on YouTube or something.
That's what they said for real?
Some rude ass shit, yeah.
Really?
I'll
they straight up said that, man. Wow.
It's something along the way, the tone of the wording was definitely one that went along those lines. Maybe not that harsh, but I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to you.
Huh.
It's like when I quit Facebook the first time with my real name. I quit Facebook, and after I was finally able to click and find, and it's like a maze just getting off of Facebook. I suggest trying it. And then right at the end, they say you don't click like anywhere on the internet for 6 months. Like, not just on Facebook, like anywhere on the internet.
Well,
don't click like for 6 months. Otherwise, if you click like, your account automatically gets started right back up. And then right after that, it said, congratulations, now you're free. And I just thought that was a little weird, well, very weird comment. And that's what I mean. Sometimes these people send things and messages, and they're basically telling you what they are.
Right.
So it's a little
as far as I'm concerned, I hope these motherfuckers are seeing what the fuck I'm posting and what the fuck I'm saying. Because I don't give a fuck, man. If it's our time.
Yeah.
If it's our time. If it's a time for our kind, then fuck them. They can't fucking stop it. It's just a question of whether or not we're going to allow ourselves to be fucking bullied, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it sucks that your channel's down. And I do hope you...
I don't mind it that much. Like,
right, but at the same time, I do hope you come back and maybe, you know, do another, you know, upgrade of Wackotica. You know, you're sharing what truth, I'll say, has been revealing to you. And that is what needs to be the master. And when truth is the master, fuck, dude, the possibilities and probabilities are endless in our expansion and our fucking evolution, man. Did you happen to go see the new Blade Runner, man? 2049?
No.
Okay.
I don't really go to the movies.
That's cool, man. I was just wondering.
It's
been on my mind lately. It's honestly one of the darkest fucking movies I've ever seen. You know,
really?
In context to the transhuman timeline, and you know, it's kind of shit. Now you got a fucking android, you know, becoming a fucking citizen in Saudi Arabia now. It's fucking happening, man.
Who?
They did a fucking android, man, that was made a citizen in Saudi Arabia, for real. Like, there was a big press conference. Yeah. And so they're starting to roll out their fucking AI shit. But all of this soft disclosure, all of this, you know, predictive fucking programming that's going on in fucking movies, if people do not fucking know the occult, then they're not going to know what the fuck they're even fucking looking at, let alone themselves or the fucking universe or the fucking gods and goddesses.
Who knows what the hell they're going to be making. And once they open up a certain gate or door in your mind.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about with predictive programming. When someone is influenced by predictive programming, when the real actually happens, it's like they just fucking accept it, and like they don't question it, or like, oh, I saw a movie and oh, that's cool, or they promote the idea that it's fucking cool, or this is something that's going to be a benefit. Another fucking movie to check out is it's called Ex Machina. That's another dark movie too. You know what I'm saying? But like you were talking about, becoming the observer and seeing these things and not watching it for like entertainment value, but it's like, okay, what are they fucking actually telling us?
Yeah.
They don't fucking give a fuck anymore, dude. And it's really in our fucking faces. So as far as spirituality and the occult, and then of course the actions that we're taking, you know, in this reality field, something has to happen with these networks. And this is what I'm trying to work on, and what I'm focusing on my end. And I can only do so fucking much, man, because a lot of us are scattered, and we're all having, you know, our personal lives and personal things, and, you know, dealing with all.
Well, like I said, like the more you learn, the tougher it can get.
Right.
So the more people that's why it can seem overwhelming and very hard, because you're dealing with a lot of people, because a lot of things are happening in their life.
Right.
You know, my life been going.
So encouraging simplifying one's existence, correct? Like
simplifying, that's good.
Simplifying your existence, and I've done that. I've been able to do that, you know, with my life personally. But I can still see that a lot of people out there are caught into the fucking bullshit. Even if they think they know something about something, they still don't know what the fuck is really going on, or how things actually fucking work, and how simple it actually fucking is, man. You know. Yeah, and actually having a code that we live by, because well, especially in Western society, and you know, here in the States, we've been cut off from our roots, man. Our ancient fucking, you know, roots that are there within us to still access. You know what I'm saying? But not coming at these things from a place of you know, fear of not knowing who we are, fear of things turning out a certain way, because we're always going to be left with what we create, right? And so it's like, what are we creating? You're working on some awesome art with your business, and you know what I'm saying? And you got a website. Why don't you share your website with people here, if you'd like to, man?
Oh, it's just All Time Design with a Z. And I got some stuff on Instagram, the same All Time Design on Instagram with a Z. And I've just been working on some logos and some designs, and I came up with some really cool, I say alternatives. And I thought it'd be just a neat idea to start stuff like that. And then I was going to think about selling stuff. And, you know, I've sold some stuff. It's not like a whole shitload of stuff, but it's led down other avenues of thought and other business opportunities. And I've gained a lot of experience along the way. Learned a whole bunch of different techniques, and just overall I'm growing as a person, and, you know, still maintaining. And I think you could always do better. I think that's kind of like a setup.
I could be doing better. I could be doing a lot better.
You see, we could always do better.
Right.
That's the thing.
And that's the thing we need to continue to encourage and empower, I think, man, especially now. And it's like, no, keep fucking going, keep fucking moving forward.
Oh yeah, fucking,
you know, doing what you love, doing your fucking passions, man. Because you get around those fucking vampires and those, you know, people that are fucking neurotic and you know, they're fucking psycho, man. They suck those fucking dreams away because they themselves don't have any, and they see somebody else, you know, going for it. What's the first thing coming out of these people's mouths, man? They're just talking shit, or they're talking behind your back, acting like they're your fucking friends, but they're not, you know. And it's
Or they just come out of the woodwork somehow at some point.
Well, fuck those people, man.
And just
I don't
like,
have
what
time. I don't have time for that shit. People coming out of the woodworks. It's like that. That ain't gonna have no sort of effect. People that are close, you know what I'm saying. And over the years,
you notice that it gets that close because they can't get to you. So if they can't get to you, they're gonna find the weakest link in your inner circle.
Mm.
You know, that's why you end up finding a lot of people alone because everybody fucking left. Everybody turned their back.
Right,
Everybody
going back to what we were talking about, awakening and separation. That takes place. And yeah, I've had everything in my life stripped away from me, man. Everyone.
Yeah, because they gnash their teeth at you. They don't like you because you're awake.
Right, because it also forces them to face the fucking mirror.
And they don't want to look in the mirror.
Face themselves. And yeah, nobody likes that. I don't fucking like that. I don't. Just because I talk about the things that I do doesn't mean that I like the fucking process that I'm actually going through. Because frankly, it's like, yeah, I'd like to skip that too. Like a lot of the new age dumb fucks out there think that they can fucking do, but you can't. It's like you gotta make a ritual out of it, man. You gotta make. Yeah. You embrace that pain and the transformations and the alchemical process, you know, that you're fucking going through, while at the same time not completely losing your shit and being held accountable and having integrity and having a sense of fucking honor, you know, for yourself and other fucking people. Where the fuck is that, man? You know, it's like
they hate themselves. They're gonna hate everything around them.
Right. But I like the idea of those ancient concepts, like was the 9 virtues in the Nordic tradition. Holy fucking shit!
There's a lot to be learned from that stuff, right?
Right. You know, and you're talking about Odin and Thor and Freya. See, these archetypes are very, very alive to me lately because of the activation of my blood codes, right? But I also see how this shit's been manipulated over the fucking years with the dark priesthoods and stuff like that. Even getting into things like human sacrifice and stuff like that in context to, say, the Viking Age and you know, just all that. It was a very dark time, and it was during the time when the Dark Ones completely took over this reality field. Mm-hmm. It was about 3,500 years ago. And then came the Vatican, and you know, pretty much leading right up to the fucking present moment. But like I said, we've reached the end of the great year. Now, what are we going to do? Because we're right at the fucking threshold of something that's never been done before. But okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to create? So, no matter what we're doing, it's like I want to be in support with you. I want to be in support with other fucking people, no matter what they're fucking doing. As long as we're, you know, driving this thing forward. Whether it's through art, music, speaking like we are, you know, writing, doing film, the arts, you know, the true authentic expressions of the individual, because everyone's just kind of like this, you know,
healing arts
zombie, you know, nowadays. Right. Yeah. The healing arts as well.
The healing arts. Well, art is healing, you know? And that's probably why, like, people like that are artists end up getting under attack. You know?
I saw a video recently of this dude playing in a subway in New York, man, and this cop trying to tell him he can't fucking play.
Yeah.
And then the cop read the law that said that he was allowed to fucking actually do that. And this cop still fucked with him.
Yeah. They can do whatever they want. If they could do all these fake shootings and have all these commissioners and shit get up there and state police captains and get judges in on it, this whole system's stupid. There should be no faith in it whatsoever because it's total fake.
Right. So the more people that know about that, the more
the
people
belief in it makes it real.
That we fucking drive it. And see, that's the thing. We can never stop exposing the fucking darkness. And I will never stop exposing the fucking darkness here on Black Earth Productions, because that's, you know, was a lot of the basis of why I started it. But also bringing it into fucking balance. Okay, what are we going to fucking do about it? What are the actions we're going to fucking take? You know, now and in the fucking future. You know, and I'm teamed up with a lot of, you know, people that are doing some pretty powerful fucking shit all across the world, man.
Yeah, I got some. I did that one graffiti piece of the mind. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah, I
send you
really
that
like that
one.
one, man.
Here, I got the jacket. I think over here.
Yeah, once you share, some of your art, man, that'd be great.
Yeah. This is it's that was the first one I made 2 years ago. The first one I made was in '87. This is the second one I ever made. It's a hand painted denim jacket. It says "No End." And if you notice, there's a little serpent, and his head is up here, and he's biting his tail.
Okay.
This is the mind embroidered jacket.
Oh, you got an embroidered one.
Yeah, that's embroidered.
Right, and you got the arrow going through that fucking the
lizard's eye over top of the pyramid.
I remember you telling me, man. That looks fresh, man.
Yeah, and then I did I do sports logos and shit. Here, let me see. Yeah, this is this one I made for my son. This was one of the fastest ones I made. Made it in 2 days. That's Prodigy.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and like I got sports ones. This one here. This is the one I wanted to embroider for you in that one piece. That's the Wacko.
Okay.
It's tough to see, I guess, in a little bit. And
Oh,
then,
it's
but sports-wise and shit, like this is the Saints. This is the one I was going to start promoting.
the Fleur de Lis. Why don't you share a little bit about the Fleur de Lis, man? That'd be something. Cool.
Yeah, that was in Wacotica.
Yeah.
The Fleur de Lis, it's got 3 things going out the top and 3 things going out the bottom. And then it's got that little knot in the middle. And I kind of looked at it like it's going around and around and around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started putting numbers together and started doing different things. And I would flip the Fleur de Lis and fit it in next to the other one. And then you create like a loop, like a time loop. And then I started associating the loop with thought processes, and people talk about reincarnation, and I'm thinking the possibility that, are we all just going through an experience, leaving, going through into another experience, leaving, going through to another experience, learning,
Mm-hmm.
Is that what reality is? Because it's kind of weird to be given this consciousness and this thought, and then you have to experience stuff like death and shit, and you just kind of like, but then you have this other concept, like, there's something else out there, and it'd be kind of like cheap if, like, you kind of live an experience, and then you just, you're dead, that's it, you never existed. Like,
yeah.
Like, wait a minute, do I go somewhere, or what the fuck is this? Like, why was I ever given this fucking knowledge? Like, what the fuck? Is it because Eve bit from the serpent, and at one point we did live forever, but now we have to die? I have no idea, but I think that's mainly one of the biggest things, the lack of that knowledge and that understanding. I think that's mainly what is really like a parasite in people's minds, because they don't know the answers to a lot of things, and they're scared of it too. A lot of people don't want to talk about death. They don't want to talk about dead loved ones. They don't want to talk about this, that, or the other thing. In some cultures, it's good to talk about the dead. They can hear you. In some cultures, it's not.
Right.
It's just so much confusion out there. And
I think as long as we're authentic, we'll find what we're searching for, and we need to find what we're searching for. We need to stop looking around and people out there. It's like, they don't fucking realize that what they are searching for can be found right there within them, if they know how to access it.
Yeah,
with proper knowledge, not information, because information. We're living in the age of information. That's Aquarius, man.
Well, this is a perfect example. Here's a perfect example backing up what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When I got kicked out, I gave him my lease. I said, I'm a tenant. Like, I pay my rent. And then he went back to the car, and then he came back. He's like, oh, you're the son. You got to go. I was like, can I have my lease back? And he said no. So he knew I was a tenant. My mistake was I handed him the original lease. So once he took that lease, I had no evidence that I had a lease. Because in tenant law in New Jersey, it doesn't state anything about family members. You know, the courts don't fight over that because family members fight all the time. So a son can be a tenant, you know, in a place. So that's why I didn't think I was going to get kicked out. But I got kicked out. So talking about being balanced, I didn't overreact. I didn't this and that. My girlfriend ended up, she said, well, if this is our last day here, she's like, I'm going to cook them up a nice breakfast. And she made me breakfast, and we ate breakfast out on the deck out back while they were packing my shit up, you know? And I just maintained balance, you know, and I ended up calling the right friend, and he said, okay, you can come over here and stay, and we'll set up operation over here. And the mortgage company was nice enough to send a crew to take all my belongings and put them in a storage, you know, and the sheriffs, they kind of disappeared really quick. And the one guy, the moving guy, was just like, no, the moving guy, there was one moving guy there. He said, just stick with me. He's like, they'll go away.
Right.
So I was walking around with this one moving guy, you know, and I don't know, for some reason he started saying, you're blessed. You're blessed. I'm like, how the fuck am I blessed? I'm getting kicked out into the street. He's like, no, there's just something. He's like, something about you. It's just the way that they're acting towards you, and he's like, they left and all this other shit and all this other stuff. He's like, no, you're blessed. I was like, he's like, it regularly doesn't happen like this. He's like, regularly it's a whole nother thing. And I was just like, you know, what the hell can I do? You know, what do you do at that point? You think you know the law, but even if I did have the law on my side, it didn't matter. They don't give a shit. Long story short, I get a call the next day from the sheriff that took my lease. And he goes, we have a problem. I said, what? He's like, I need to have my radio back. I'm like, what radio? He's like, the moving guy said that I left it on their driveway or something. I was like, it's not my house anymore. It's not my problem. You put it there. I was like, how is this my problem? You know, you lost your expensive ass high technology device, and I guess it's out there for the criminals
that's karma
to have
coming
now.
to bite him in the ass pretty quick.
I didn't even go down that road. I could have easily rubbed that shit right in his face. Like, how's that feel, bitch?
Right.
But then I was like, you come look through my whole entire storage unit, man. And I had him come down to that storage unit because I was like, I want him to know what happens to the people he throws out.
Right.
I want to open that door. Look, this is my house now, man. You know, and maybe that might have planted the seed in their head, you know, because I was just being friendly and helpful the whole time. I was like, sure, you can come look, even though you're a cocksucking jerk, you snake-bitten, scum-sucking, you know, from the tit of Rome person. Yeah, you can come and look. Come on, take a look. And I don't have their fucking radio. But I just think it's funny. You take my lease and something else took his radio.
Right, and that's the law of cause and effect, man. It's gonna happen
Right in their face.
It's gonna happen faster and faster and faster and faster, especially going into 2025 now. Going back though to what you were talking about as far as death and you know what happens afterwards and stuff like that. As far as I'm concerned, past, present, and future are all happening simultaneously. And have been.
That's a good point.
And have been within the fifth cycle that we have been in for the last 26,000 fucking years. It's only now, in 2017, all the timelines that mankind's been on these feedback loops and shit, they're all collapsing in on the spirals. Okay, because people talk about the spiral of the reality field. As far as what has been revealed to me, there are 3 spirals, okay? Death is an illusion. Energy cannot die. We have always existed. We just don't remember who the fuck we are. And this is what the dark ones don't want us to fucking know. The real occult knowledge that they don't want us to fucking know is who the fuck we really are. They don't give a shit what we believe as long as we buy into their fucking bullshit like we already fucking
just as long as we buy it, we're right. Paying. Just buy.
But what they don't want us to know, like I've explained, is the book of life that we are, the codes that are within us to unfold, the things and the potentials and the possibilities to come back into that place of remembering, then of course, how are we going to wield it? What are we going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Because knowledge does not become wisdom until action is taken with it. Otherwise, you just have a head full of fucking knowledge, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's fucking it. And that's another fucking major issue. Proper knowledge and wisdom go hand in hand, but it does not become wisdom until action is taken with the proper knowledge.
Yep. It's like money talks, bullshit walks. It's like some people just talk shit,
right,
and they don't do shit.
Right. And a lot of people want
to try not to be that.
Right. And a lot of people want to talk so that they can be heard for their many words, so that they can, give off the air that they know something. When their lives, and I'm not saying this about you because I know you got your shit and you're moving fucking forward, but it's so that they can give off the idea that they fucking know how things actually work when their fucking lives are completely being fucking ripped apart. I will tell you what, I was going through that death from 2010 going into 2012, okay, into 2014, 15. That period of time when I was living in Arizona, I remember talking to you on the phone. I had my own place. We had conversations and stuff like that. I was going through a lot of fucking shit, man. And I remember that, you were encouraging me, tell me to keep going. Don't fucking give up, man. And at the time, I didn't know what I fucking know now about how
you were going through major hills and valleys, because we knew each other for years, man.
Mm-hmm.
You were up and then you down. I think you didn't have a place to go for a minute. You were bouncing around.
Yeah, I was all over the fucking country, man. Not knowing where I was
going to
land. Yeah. Having my whole life fucking stripped from me. And that's the fucking thing. It's like no matter what the fuck's going on, we still have the higher force at work, working in our lives.
Stick true to that. That was the spindle. That was the thing you got within, Just
but I still had, but at the time, it's like I still had so much, programming within my system that I was basically learning how to navigate, remembering how to navigate, because you can have knowledge about something, but again, do you know how to wield it? Are you taking action with it? Do you know how to navigate, these things? And once you know how to navigate, man, you can take on the fucking storms of life, right?
It's like it gets back to your perspective during when the event is occurring, and just trying to maintain. But the thing too is there's a lot of times where you could just be the vehicle. You could just be the vehicle that energy force is using in a positive way too.
Right.
Just like how they say demons get possessed, or people get possessed by demons. I mean, there's probably an equal force going the other way too.
Well, I would say there is, especially with the false cold light shit. The thing though, with what I'm really focused on working with now is the energy force itself. Not like I don't fuck with spirits, and I got a lot of fucking magicians. I got a lot of fucking magicians pissed off at me right now because I called out their Kabbalah fucking bullshit. I called them the fuck out. Me and my friend Lord Osseron, we made a video, Yggdrasil. I think that you saw that one. This is getting into the spindle now, the mathematics of it. It's fucking flawless, man. It cannot be fucking refuted, and still people, it's like they want to hold on to their traditions and these death cycles that we have fucking been in.
Because they take it personally, because it was always about them to begin with.
Right, giving their energy over to something else instead of them developing themselves with their own spirit, with their own consciousness, with their own potentials, gifts, skills, talents, all this fucking. That's why we are fucking here. This is why we are here. This is why we incarnated, to catch up to soul cycles and get back, in trajectory. Now, is it going to happen on a massive scale? I don't think so, like you were talking about. But it will for those that fucking.
It's still a long shot, but it's in the race. Right. If it's a thought, it's in the race.
And we still got time, because of the fact we got our timeline on the solar eclipse. During the time all these hurricanes and fucking shit was happening, I have my points of view on what was actually going on with that. I've already expressed it. People want to know what I think about what happened, they can go back and listen to, you know, some of the other fucking videos. I'm not going to get in a fucking debate with anyone, whether or not it's like geoengineering and HARP and all that. It's like, because motherfuckers don't know what I fucking know. People don't know what you know. I don't know what other people know, but I know what I know because of what's been revealed and confirmed. Okay, because you're talking about weather. You said it's like really hot. It's November, right? And it's still how hot is it there?
It's been like 70 for weeks.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on, man?
All of October into November. I'm in shorts. I got a t-shirt on and a hat. I go outside to be fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
if flux is where
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's flux.
Chemtrails are everywhere. They were shooting the shit out of us today. They were making X's. You could see them turn, make the X. You know.
Yeah.
They're making X's with pyramids.
Yeah, you got to evoke those sylphs, man. Sylphs eat chemtrails. I fucking seen it, man.
I was at the flea market not too long ago. They had a helicopter fly by real low with the camera and shit in the front of it. And on the side it said Unity Patrol. Government 1984 spying. And nobody gave a fuck, though. That's the problem.
Right.
A lot of people,
and that is a fucking problem.
They're here for our best interest. They're fighting ISIS. Motherfucker, they are ISIS.
Something. And that is the fucking major issue. Not enough people fucking care about.
Yeah, that's why they call them sheep.
Why not enough people fucking care about actually healing, remembering, learning about what's going on. Not just, you know, looking into the conspiracy stuff, which is fucking real, but okay, what about what's beyond it? What about what they are going to do? You know what I'm saying? And I think after this conversation tonight, it's going to go out, man. Anything that I'm doing now with Black Earth Productions is going to go out. People are going to hear about you. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember Anthony, you know, his Wackotica, you know, channel, his Wackotica series. You know what I'm saying? And so
I'll put it up on another channel. I have another channel, a secret one.
You don't see.
Yeah, I forgot the password though. I got to remember the password.
We just got to continue to move, and you know, it's like dodging fucking, you know, cosmic fucking bullets, man.
Not that you're so fast that you can duck it, just that you can have the presence of mind to know what's around the corner. Because that's what was in Carlos Castaneda. They talked about it, a shaman or a magic person or something, or you know, they would know that the tree was going to fall before it fell, so they wouldn't be there when it fell. You see, if you can just listen to your intuition,
right?
And no matter what's going on, just have that perspective of just being in the center, being in control of your emotions, and just try to take things like that and try to laugh it off the best you can. And then keep moving, and you always keep moving, always keep acting, always keep going with your dream. Don't give up, don't give in. You know, you just keep going, and then you go in a different way. I went out dancing the other night. I was doing all kinds of cool moves because I do all my popping and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, I still just enjoy myself.
That's cool, man.
Business is good, so you know, you just got to get through things in life. And then when things are slow, you just got to have a hustle, and because you do have this material existence.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other fucking issue too. I want to address this. There's too many people out there that want to quote unquote escape the matrix. And this is bullshit because we incarnated to master this fucking shit. As far as I'm concerned, this is both the lowest and the highest realm. There's no separation of worlds here. It's just a matter of awareness and also, you know, probabilities, possibilities. We did not come here to be fucking slaves. We did not come here to be subject to these dark fucking masters. We came here to first own ourselves, and like Odin, sacrificing ourselves unto ourselves. Imagine if everyone took the responsibility like that for their own evolution and their own progression, instead of, you know, going to these 501c3, you know, churches or you know, getting their tribal codes played upon, you know, with sports, or running into the conspiracy stuff, and you know, and then all the alien shit. And then people want to start getting into fucking magic, and they don't fucking know protocol, and they start doing fucking shit, and they fuck up their life even fucking more, dude. It's
I don't know nothing about that shit.
The fuck is this going? And we've had this conversation. Where the fuck is it going? What is going on? Where's all this fucking going? You know?
Yeah. Part of it's probably going down a drain somewhere. And it probably don't smell too good.
Yeah, the astral fucking trash can.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of people are
the ass.
The astral fucking trash can bullshit.
Yeah.
That they just want to continue on in. And it's like, no. As far as I'm concerned, this is what the game changer is, and what we're doing with Blue Flame Healing Arts and Occult Science.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I should fuck it. You know what? I'm going to fucking announce it. I'm creating a new magic order.
Mm-hmm.
Literally going to be creating a new order that is going to come in alignment with the ancient protocol of our ancestors. And this is seriously fucking going back like 550 fucking million years. If anybody out there can believe that I've been able to access consciousness that far fucking back in confirmation and fucking reference. It sounds insane, right? Mm-hmm. But that's what being a wacko is all about, right? Like you were told, being a motherfucking wacko. So with all that, Anthony, we're coming at the end of our time here. I really appreciate you fucking coming on, man, and I fucking love you, brother. And
you too, man.
That was awesome. Anything else you want to add real quick before we go, and probably talk a little bit after we're done here on the phone? Go for it.
Just like I said, man, like, you know, we're going to go through it. You know, you can go through it angry, or you go through it happy, or you can go through it with, you know, just the best perspective that you can get so you can get through it. That's pretty much the stage of life that I'm at this point. And just because you know a lot doesn't mean that all great things are going to always occur, but there is usually a way out of it, whatever you're going through. So it's just a matter of patience, acceptance, and tolerance, and just trying to really stick with what's right.
Right in the middle, with the spindle, with the 9, within the fulcrum.
That's where I go to exist. When everything starts falling out, mm-hmm. You know, around, that's the one spot, you know, before I eat. Thank you. Everything's right here.
Awesome.
Like when you're born, you're wrapped around it, you know, you're like this, you're all balled up all around it. Mm-hmm. So that's it. Just hang on to that.
Right.
And nurture that and feed that, and don't give that energy up to other things. Like football's fake, but I still watch it. It's just entertaining. You know, I like the Saints, but if they lost some horrific thing because of some stupid call, I wouldn't be super angry. I'd kind of laugh at it, you know? Be like, oh, that was a neat little trick. Mm-hmm. You know, that kind of thing. Because, you know, you can't really care too much about that shit. You know, you care about other things. But then, you know, that's it.
Thank you again for coming on with the audience here at Black Earth Productions. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, send me an email at blackearthproductions@hotmail.com. Again, check out the website at blackearthproductions with a Z.com. You can check out the
you got a Z at the end of yours too?
I do got a Z at the end of mine too, man.
I'm alltimedesign.com.
Yeah. 2017 coming to the end, going into 2018. It's time to kick it the fuck up. Thank you, Anthony, for coming. And
all right, brother. Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you later, man.
All right, bro.
I'm a synchronistic metaphysician. Put the planets back in position. We damage the wicked. The hand that is given us past with your vision. You lack the ambition. The techniques we written. We mastered this mission. No matter existence. So pay attention to the spastic rap flow. You are now tuned in to galactic wacko. This the frequency. You can channel the youth. We came to wake up the sheep. Who can they handle the truth? I am searching for the serpents to expose their falsehoods. In order to capture, I must become. It's all good. king cobra, the scrolls of Egyptians. I eat all snakes and fakes. I stay cold at the distance, follow the teachers of thought. The hermetics, they get the credit. The investments I've injected in this message last forever. What you know about the sorcerer's den? What you know about metaphors at my core stored within? What you know about 666 equals 9? Look at what you find when you research the design. Look beyond the mind, space, and time. Look beyond the rhyme, pace, and lines to what you facing and be gracious for life. What you know about the gods of war? Tune into the channel, find what they plotted it for. We uncover the conspiracy that's inside of the myth as an actual truth that is used as tools to exist. It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Just another parable I dare to use in this chapter. So you need to follow the teachings that we are giving you. We came to free your mind from the lies they've imprisoned you. Galactic wacko, we keeping it true. It's the underground anthem for me and you. So pull the wool from over your eyes and discover what they placed inside of those lies. Galactic wacko, we keeping it true. It's the underground anthem for me and you. So pull the wool from over your eyes and discover what they placed inside of the lies. Yeah.
You're tripping through a holographic matrix, debating your soul existence. Galactic wacko bringing you vivid visual images and sounds from the outer dimension, sending you messages. Best wake the fuck up, stupid sheep are weak in the mental. This is raw, broadcasted to y'all, to you too. Spread it viral epidemically like it's a new flu. Truth within inside your mind, unlock it and you will find a new divine understanding, surpassing all that's behind. This is raw, uncut stimulation for nervous systems, fervent wisdom of the ages, sustained by the sacred sages, excavated for enlightenment, brighten your whole anatomy, the physical, the astral, and that which you can't imagine. Mathematics too accurate, damage you to a fraction. We teach you that we've extracted the rest of the path you mapping while you're tracking on your journey for knowledge and inner peace. May you see what the better percentage you'll never see. Entities from across the dimensions letting you breathe. Enemies in the shadows, a billion that's after me, and gravity is just a theory like everything scientific. Your mind is the creative design and all the specifics. Bigger picture is the method we bring it to y'all, ingest it. Subscribe to the channel and tell your friends to pass the message. Mass awareness, expand the network before we perish. Controllers can't control us, we overthrow all opponents. We've been branded, the warriors chosen to save the planet. Everlasting when we get to ignite, step into battle. In my sight for 777's complete. Circle the heavens, omnipresence plus accession. Galactic wacko presenting with
we keeping it true. This the underground anthem for me and you. So pull the wool from over your eyes and discover what they placed inside of those lies. Galactic wacko, we keeping it true. This the underground anthem for me and you. So pull the wool from over your eyes and discover what they placed inside of the lies.